I guess I'll read through it real quick, but like it's like an unpopular TF2 opinions thread, but like most of it is just like it's uh it's a thing. Like people are talking about the Uber saw being overpowered and stuff, and like soldiers easing them. Tell me more about that thread. What is something that made you mad the most? It's just people posting like super fucking ignorant opinions about stuff they don't know much about. It's like, yeah, sixes is stale. It's like, have you played sixes? It's like, yeah, I played it once in a lobby like 3 years ago. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And like, basically saying like the DH is overpowered or something like that. Like, what the fuck? Are you serious? The DH fucking sucks ass. Like, it might only be good against sentry guns compared to like every other rocket launcher. Pyro is a good class. Pyro is not a good class. And then people like talk like this as a Pyro main. It's just like people complain about Sniper. Obviously, Sniper is annoying, like in a pub, but it's pretty easy to deal with unless the sniper is like insane. But even then, like it's a fucking pub. Like most of the stuff, like this opinion makes a lot of sense. This post is good. Basically, just saying the Flogsnader is fine. It's fucking terrible because it doesn't have air blast, which is correct. I think this guy's right about Engineer. Fuck Engineer. I pretty much agree with this too. Not sure about the class limit part, but I think he's right about that. I think it's good for the game to have everything be allowed. But you go down a little bit further. Um, this guy, I like this guy's opinion. Just specialist class. I hate competitive TF2. I hate seeing it all over Reddit. It's not fun to talk about or to play or interact with the people who do. I just never felt they fit the spirit of TF2 for some reason. So this guy's generalizing the entire competitive community in like 3 sentences. And then apparently this guy agrees and he says, pub players are inherently inferior players and only giving themselves lazy care about pub stumping. Well, it's true. Like if you only pub, you're not going to be as good as someone that plays competitive. Like even someone that plays Highlander is going to be way better than someone that plays a pub. I just don't understand like this. It's like, yes, if you play anything casually, you are going to be worse than someone that plays it the same amount competitively. Literally anything. Like if you play chess casually, you're going to be a lot worse than someone plays chess competitively. Because the person that's playing it competitively is probably analyzing the game a lot more than you are. And that same goes for like video games and like anything. This guy just goes on and on and on about just general opinions about matchmaking and competitive, even though it's pretty obvious he's never played it. Like, this is probably the worst post in the entire thread. With the very limited experience I have in comp, space, comma, space, sixes doesn't belong. I don't know why I put an, okay. Put an asterisk there to, why would he do that? It's not a book. You could just write it differently. Anyway, does not belong in this game. It's space, comma, space. It's too fast and covers barely anything that this game has to offer. Okay? That he doesn't like elaborate on that at all. But I don't belong, I don't mean you should remove it, space, comma, space. If people are having fun, they should continue space, comma, space. I just don't understand why the main comp mod should be something the removes so much of the game. 12 upvotes. This doesn't even make sense. should be something the removes so much of the game. Okay. And this guy kind of explains this part, which is true. Like, it could be true. One of the main reasons they're focusing at 6's comp because it only requires 12 people to queue up for it. 18 people is just too long. I agree. I don't know if that's the only reason, but it definitely is probably the main reason they're focusing on 6's over Highlander currently. Yeah, this guy likes Pyro, and he makes like these type of posts are good. Like this guy probably doesn't even like 6's, but he can like rationalize why things are the way they are. Yeah. But like saying something is too fast, it's like TF2 is an arena FPS. It's going to be fast. And in a more condensed environment, it gets about as fast as it possibly can be. And that's probably why people like me like the game so much, because it's very fast paced. Even with the stalemates, like it's still faster than a pub. Well, the thing is, like, some Redditors aren't stupid. It's just like, I wouldn't say any, I would say most of the people that make posts here are not stupid. They might be ignorant, which is not the same as being dumb. It's just, it's foolish. Like, I'm not gonna be, like, talking about, like, Overwatch metagame and stuff. Like, I don't fucking play Overwatch, you know what I mean? Like, even if I did play Overwatch, I don't play Overwatch competitively. Like, I'm not going to be criticizing the competitive meta of something that I've never played before, because I haven't played it before, you know what I mean? And even if I did play it before, I wouldn't be playing much of it. I don't know. Like, this guy says Scout is the worst class. But I don't think he worded that. I probably should have worded that it's better, and said Scout. It is my least favorite class. Scout's definitely not the weakest, but in my opinion, he's not fun to play, and his personality is the worst. Well, there you go. I feel like when you say something like he's not fun to play, or something like huge like that, you probably should elaborate on it for people to like take you seriously, or like kind of get your perspective. What are we doing today? I'm just like getting triggered over this thread. But anyway, as I've said in the past, I feel like people that complain about competitive TF2, I honestly believe those people will like they shouldn't be playing competitive. They're not competitive people. I think the thing that baffles me the most is that a lot of people that complain about competitive, like, say they're not competitive people, then why the fuck would you talk about competitive? Like, why would you have any concerns about competitive if you're not a competitive person? I don't give a shit about the pub metagame. I don't pub that much. And even, actually, I have been pubbing a fair amount recently. I just don't care. If you really don't give a shit about something, then why would you make posts on it? It just makes me feel like you're just bored at work posting on a forum, or you're like not very smart. I'm like, I don't know. I don't think everybody on RTF2 is idiots. You know what I mean? Like that's like generalizing an entire group of people, which is why I get annoyed by when people say like the entire competitive community thinks this way. It's like, no. Sure, maybe a lot of the competitive people might think this way, but when you're on the outside looking in, you're probably gonna be pretty wrong. I'd say a lot of the stuff posted on RTF2 is very ignorant and annoying, but even in that thread, a lot of the stuff was I could agree with for sure. I think the main thing that bothers me is that people that are incredibly opinionated on stuff that they don't understand very well. I don't understand why you would... I don't know, I'm not going on like Highlander forums and like talking about the Highlander metagame and what Highlander needs to do to fix it. I don't like Highlander, so I don't play it, and I don't talk about it that much because I don't care. But on the flip side, you see like a lot of posts about like competitive and stuff from people that don't play competitive, that aren't competitive people, but at the same time they still feel the need to talk about competitive. I don't understand.